You ungrateful bastard. You left me to rot. The old woman's voice cracked like thunder across the busy Lagos intersection, her bony finger trembling as she pointed at the gleaming black Range Rover that had just pulled up beside her makeshift begging spot. Hello guys. Welcome to Stories by Stoner. Before we dive into this heartbreaking story, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What would you do if you saw your own parent begging on the street after you became successful? Now, let's dive in. Dele Okonkwo froze, his designer sunglasses slipping down his nose as he stared at the woman who had just screamed at him. For a moment, the world stopped. The honking cars, the street vendors, the smell of suya roasting nearby, everything faded into silence. It couldn't be. But it was. Mama Okonkwo. His mother. The woman who had sold her wrapper cloth to pay his school fees. The woman who had worked 3 jobs cleaning houses so he could eat. The woman he hadn't seen in 12 years. She sat on a dirty piece of cardboard, her once proud shoulders now hunched and frail. Her wrapper was torn and faded. Her eyes, clouded with cataracts, didn't recognize the billionaire staring at her from behind tinted windows. But her words cut through him like a machete. You people in your big cars, she shouted again, waving her tin cup. You pass by us like we are trash. Like we are not human beings. Dele's driver shifted uncomfortably. Oga, should I? Wait. Dele's voice came out strangled. His throat felt like it was closing. He pushed open the car door and stepped out onto the hot asphalt. His Italian leather shoes crunched on broken glass. Pedestrians turned to stare at the tall, well-dressed man approaching the old beggar woman. Mama. His voice cracked. She looked up, squinting against the sun. Her face was a map of wrinkles and suffering. You have money for me, Oga? She extended her shaking hand. Dele's knees nearly buckled. She didn't know him. His own mother didn't recognize her son. Mama. It's me. It's Dele. The tin cup fell from her hands, coins scattering across the pavement. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. Then her eyes widened with recognition, and something worse than anger. Something that looked like pure devastation. Dele, she whispered. My Dele? He nodded, tears streaming down his face, not caring that a crowd was gathering. Not caring that someone was filming on their phone. Not caring about anything except the broken woman in front of him. Where have you been? Her voice rose again, this time filled with 12 years of pain. Where have you been? I came to your house. Your gate man said you don't want to see me. I called your phone. You changed your number. I waited at your office. Security threw me out like a dog. Each accusation hit him like a physical blow. Mama, I can explain. Explain. She tried to stand but stumbled. Dele reached for her, but she slapped his hands away. Explain how you abandoned the woman who gave you life? Explain how you became a big man and forgot where you came from? Explain how I have been sleeping under the bridge for 3 years while you live in Banana Island. The crowd murmured. Someone whispered, that's Dele Okonkwo, the billionaire. Mama, please, Dele begged, his voice breaking. Let me take you home. Let me. Home. She laughed bitterly, a sound that chilled his blood. I have no home. My son made sure of that. Then she did something that shattered Dele completely. She bent down, slowly, painfully, and began picking up the scattered coins from the ground. Mama, no. He tried to help her. She looked up at him with eyes that held nothing but emptiness. I don't know you anymore, Dele. The son I raised died a long time ago. You are just a stranger in an expensive suit. What happens when a son's ambition destroys the one person who sacrificed everything for him? Will Dele discover the truth behind how his mother ended up on the streets? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Dele stood paralyzed on that busy Lagos street, watching his mother shuffle away with her tin cup, disappearing into the crowd like a ghost. His bodyguard, Emeka, finally approached. "Oga, we need to go. People are recording." But Deli couldn't move. His mind was spinning backward through 12 years of choices, 12 years of silence, 12 years of telling himself he was too busy building his empire to deal with family drama. The truth was uglier than that. He had abandoned her on purpose. It started the day he signed his first major deal, 50 million naira from an Indian investor who wanted to partner in his tech startup. Deli had been 28, hungry, and desperate to prove he was more than just a poor boy from Ajigunal slum. His girlfriend at the time, Biola, came from old money. Her father was a senator. Her mother wore gold like it was ordinary cloth. And they made it very clear, Deli's background was an embarrassment. "If you want to marry into this family," Biola's mother had said, sipping champagne in their Ikoyi mansion, "you need to leave that past behind. Nobody respects a billionaire who still acts like a poor man. Nobody trusts a CEO whose mother sells oranges by the roadside." Deli had protested at first. "She's my mother. She sacrificed everything." "And you've repaid her," Biola interrupted, touching his face gently. "You sent her money, didn't you? You bought her a small house in the village. That's enough. Now you need to focus on us. On our future. On building something that matters." The poison worked slowly. First, he stopped visiting Mama. Then he stopped taking her calls. Then he changed his number entirely. When she showed up at his office 6 years ago, he had instructed security to handle it without telling him. He convinced himself it was for the best. That she would be fine. That the money he sent through his assistant was enough. Except he later found out his assistant, a man named Femi, had been stealing that money for years. And by the time Deli discovered it, he was too ashamed to face the truth. Too deep in his new life to confront what he'd done. Now, standing on this street corner, Deli's phone rang. It was his wife. Yes, he'd married Biola 5 years ago. "Deli, where are you? The investors are waiting. You're supposed to be presenting the new app in 20 minutes. "I saw her," he whispered. "Saw who?" "My mother. She's begging on the street, Biola. My mother is begging." There was a long pause. Then Biola's voice turned cold. "We talked about this. You can't let that woman back into your life. She'll ruin everything we've built. Everything I've built." Deli shouted, surprising himself. "She's the reason I could even go to school. She's the reason." "She's a liability," Biola cut him off. "Do you know what the blogs will say if they find out? Billionaire Deli Okonkwo's mother caught begging. Where's his money? It'll destroy your reputation. Our reputation." Deli looked toward where his mother had disappeared into the crowded market. "I don't care about reputation anymore." "Well, you should," Biola hissed. "Because if you embarrass this family, my father will make sure every investor pulls out. Every contract disappears. Do you understand me?" The line went dead. Emeka touched his shoulder. "Oga, what do you want to do?" Deli wiped his face. "Find her. I don't care how long it takes. Find my mother and bring her to me." "Yes, sir." But as Emeka dispatched 2 men into the crowd, Deli's phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. He opened it, and his blood ran cold. It was a photo of him standing over his mother on the street, tears on his face. Below it, a message. "We know what you did, Deli Okonkwo. We know why she's on the streets. And tomorrow, the whole world will know too. Unless you pay 50 million naira by midnight." Deli's hands shook. Someone had been watching. Someone knew the truth. And they were about to destroy him. Who is blackmailing Deli? What secrets are about to come out? And will he find his mother before it's too late? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Drop a comment. Should Deli pay the blackmailer or face the truth? Deli sat in his office on the 40th floor of his tech company headquarters, staring at the blackmail message. Outside, Lagos stretched beneath him like a kingdom he'd conquered, but inside, he felt like a beggar himself. His phone buzzed again. Another message from the unknown number. Tick-tock, billionaire. Your precious investors won't do business with a man who threw his own mother into the gutter. Pay up or watch your empire crumble. Delhi's assistant, Grace, knocked and entered. Sir, the presentation went well, but the board wants to speak with you about. She stopped when she saw his face. Ogre, are you all right? Grace, I need you to do something for me. His voice was hollow. Find out everything about a man named Femi Oladipo. He used to work here as my personal assistant 6 years ago. Grace's eyes widened slightly. Femi. Sir, I remember him. He was fired for stealing company funds. Not company funds, Delhi said bitterly. He was stealing money I sent to my mother. Money that was supposed to keep her fed, housed, safe. He slammed his fist on the desk. Because of him, because of that thief and my own cowardice, my mother has been living on the streets. Grace stepped back, shocked. Sir, I didn't know you had a mother in Lagos. I thought. Everyone thought she was dead or back in the village, Delhi finished. Because that's what I wanted them to think. That's the lie I built my life on. He looked at Grace desperately. Find Femi. Today. I need to know if he's behind this blackmail. Yes, sir. Right away. By evening, Delhi's security team still hadn't found Mama Okonkwo. It was as if she'd vanished into the belly of Lagos itself. Delhi drove back to the intersection where he'd seen her, but the spot was empty except for trash and a few other beggars who claimed they'd never seen an old woman matching her description. One old man, missing several teeth, squinted at Delhi suspiciously. Why are you looking for her? You want to make trouble. She's my mother, Delhi said quietly. The old man laughed, a wheezing, painful sound. Your mother? If she's your mother, why was she begging? He spat on the ground near Delhi's shoes. Rich people. You're all the same. You only care when people are watching. Delhi wanted to argue, but the man was right. He returned home to his Banana Island mansion after midnight. Biola was waiting in the living room, wearing a silk nightgown and holding a glass of wine. The house was massive, 6 bedrooms, a pool, marble floors imported from Italy. Everything Mama Okonkwo could never have imagined. Did you find her? Biola asked coldly. No. Good. Biola took a sip of wine. Then maybe you can focus on what matters. My father called. He heard rumors you were seen crying on the street like a common person. He's very upset. Your father can. Delhi stopped himself, exhausted. Biola, doesn't any of this bother you? My mother is out there somewhere, sleeping under God knows what conditions, and you're worried about rumors. Biola set down her glass with a sharp click. I'm worried about our lifestyle, Delhi. This house. The cars. The private schools for our future children. All of that disappears if you let some old woman drag you back into poverty. Some old woman? Delhi's voice rose. She's not some old woman. She carried me for 9 months. She worked herself half to death so I could have a future. And you gave her money. Biola shouted back. You did your duty. What more does she want? She wants her son. The words tore out of Delhi's throat. She wants the boy she raised, not this monster I've become. Biola's face hardened. If you bring her into this house, I'm leaving. And I'm taking everything with me. My father's lawyers will make sure of it. They stared at each other across the vast, beautiful, empty living room. Delhi's phone buzzed. Another message. Time's running out, Delhi. But since I'm generous, I'll give you a hint. Your mother isn't just homeless. She's dying. Kidney failure. She has maybe 3 months left. Still think 50 million is too much to save your reputation and your mother's life? Midnight. Or everyone knows. The phone slipped from Delhi's hands and clattered on the marble floor. "What is it?" Biola demanded. But Delhi was already running out the door. "Delhi's mother is dying, and someone knows everything. Will he pay the blackmail? Will he find her in time? And what will he choose, his wealth or his mother's life?" Like and subscribe. Delhi drove through Lagos like a madman, his Range Rover weaving between Danfos and Okadas as he headed back to the streets where the forgotten people lived. The blackmailer's words echoed in his mind. Kidney failure. 3 months left. How had it come to this? How had he let his own mother reach the point of death while he slept in silk sheets? His phone rang. It was Grace. "Sir, I found information on Femi Oladipo," she said quickly. "He's been living in Festac town, struggling. Lost his wife 2 years ago. But sir, he's not your blackmailer." "How do you know?" "Because Femi died 3 months ago. Liver disease. I found his death certificate." Delhi's heart sank. If not Femi, then who? Who knew enough about his past to weaponize it? "There's something else, sir," Grace continued, her voice trembling. "I asked around at the old office. Some of the older staff remember your mother coming by repeatedly 6 years ago. They said there was someone else who always turned her away. Someone who told her you never wanted to see her again." "Who?" Grace hesitated. "Your wife's younger brother, Doten. He was interning in security back then." The world tilted. Doten. Biola's spoiled younger brother who now worked as head of investor relations at Delhi's company. A job Delhi had given him to keep Biola happy. "Are you telling me," Delhi said slowly, "that Doten has been blocking my mother for 6 years?" "Sir, there's more. I checked the company accounts. Someone has been embezzling money through fake vendor contracts. Small amounts, but over 6 years. It adds up to about 200 million naira. Let me guess. Doten. I can't prove it yet, but the pattern matches his authorization codes." Delhi's hands gripped the steering wheel until his knuckles turned white. The blackmail, the embezzlement, his mother's suffering, it all pointed back to Biola's family. They hadn't just asked him to abandon his past. They'd actively destroyed it to keep him under their control. He found himself at the National Hospital in Yoba, though he didn't remember deciding to go there. Something pulled him, intuition or desperation. If his mother was dying of kidney failure, maybe someone had brought her here. The emergency room was chaos. Patients on gurneys in hallways. Family members arguing with nurses. The smell of antiseptic and suffering. Delhi approached the reception desk. "Please, I'm looking for an elderly woman, brought in maybe today or yesterday. Kidney failure. Her name is Mrs. Okonkwo, or she might have given a different name, I don't know." "Sir, we have many patients," the tired nurse said. "Do you have any other details?" She was begging on the street. She's about 75 years old. Very thin. She was wearing a torn blue wrapper. "Bed 23, another nurse interrupted, looking up from her station. "The old woman with no family. We've been trying to find her relatives. She collapsed at the market this morning. She keeps saying her son will come, but..." The nurse's face was skeptical. "I'm her son." Delhi's voice cracked. "I'm here. Where is she?" The nurse pointed down a crowded hallway. Delhi ran. She looked even smaller in the hospital bed, hooked up to machines that beeped steadily. Her eyes were closed. And 4 drip fed into her thin arm. A young doctor stood by the bedside, reviewing charts. "Are you family?" the doctor asked. "I'm her son." The doctor's expression turned cold. "Her son. I see. Do you know your mother has been in renal failure for over a year? Do you know she's been trying to survive on 1 meal a day? Do you know she's been sleeping rough, which made her condition 10 times worse?" Each question was an accusation. Delhi deserved every one. "Can you save her?" he whispered. "She needs dialysis immediately. 3 times a week. Minimum. Eventually, She'll need a kidney transplant. We're talking about several million naira in medical costs. I'll pay, Delhi said immediately. Whatever it costs. I'll pay for everything. Will you? The doctor studied him. Or will you disappear again when the bills get too high? Because I've seen that before. Rich relatives who promise everything, then vanish. I won't leave her, Delhi said, tears streaming down his face. Never again. Mama Okonkwo's eyes fluttered open. She turned her head slowly and saw Delhi standing there. For a long moment, she just stared at him. Then she spoke, her voice barely a whisper. You came. Yes, Mama. I came. Too late, she breathed. You're always too late. No, Mama, please. Delhi grabbed her hand. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to. Why? Her eyes held more pain than anger now. Why did you throw me away, Delhi? What did I do wrong? The question destroyed him. Because the answer was, she had done nothing wrong. The failure was entirely his. I was weak, Mama. I was selfish. I chose money and status over you. I chose a woman who made me ashamed of where I came from. I chose wrong. He pressed his forehead against her hand. But I'm here now. And I'm not leaving. Mama Okonkwo closed her eyes again. You say that now. But when your fancy friends find out about me, you'll leave again. No. His phone buzzed. A message from the blackmailer. 1 hour until midnight. Pay or I send everything to the press. Your choice. Your mother or your money. You can't have both. Delhi looked at his mother's frail body, at the machines keeping her alive, at the life he'd almost let slip away. Then he typed a response. Do your worst. The world can know the truth. I'm done hiding. Delhi has made his choice, but will it be enough? What will happen when the truth goes public? And who is really behind the blackmail? Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Midnight came and went. Delhi didn't pay the blackmail. Instead, he sat by his mother's bedside, holding her hand as dialysis machines hummed and beeped through the night. The doctor had started emergency treatment, but warned that Mama Okonkwo's body was severely weakened. She's a fighter, the night nurse said softly, adjusting the 4. She kept telling us yesterday, my son will come. My Delhi is a good boy. Even after everything, she still believed in you. The words cut deeper than any blackmailer's threat. At 3 a.m., Delhi's phone exploded with notifications. The blackmailer had made good on the threat. Blogs, social media, WhatsApp groups. Everywhere the story was spreading. Billionaire Delhi Okonkwo's dark secret. Mother found begging while son lives in luxury. The photos were damning. Him standing over his mother on the street. Her tin cup. The crowd watching. And worse, someone had dug up old photos of Mama Okonkwo from years ago, vibrant and smiling, contrasted with recent images of her begging. The comments were vicious. This is why I don't trust these rich people. No home training. He should be ashamed. After his mother sacrificed everything. Money without character is useless. This man is a disgrace. But Delhi barely looked at his phone. He was watching his mother breathe, each rise and fall of her chest a small miracle. His phone rang. Biola. Delhi. What have you done? She screamed. It's everywhere. Every blog, every news site. My father is furious. The investors are panicking. You've destroyed us. No, Biola, Delhi said calmly. I destroyed us 12 years ago when I abandoned my mother. This is just the truth finally catching up. The board is meeting tomorrow morning. They're going to vote you out as CEO. My father is leading the charge. Let them. Silence on the other end. Then, you've lost your mind. No. I've found it. Delhi looked at his mother's sleeping face. I spent 12 years building an empire on lies and shame. I'm done. If they want to take the company, They can have it. But they're not taking my mother from me again. You're choosing her over everything we built. She's the only reason I could build anything in the first place, Deli said quietly. I should have chosen her 12 years ago. Biola's voice turned ice cold. Then you'll have nothing. My father will make sure you lose everything. The house, the cars, the investments, everything is tied up in family contracts. You'll be poor again, Deli. Just another nobody. Then I'll be a nobody with a clear conscience. He hung up. By sunrise, Deli's world was crumbling exactly as Biola predicted. His phone rang constantly. Board members, investors, partners, all distancing themselves. His company's stock dropped 15% in pre-market trading. News vans gathered outside the hospital. Grace arrived at 7 a.m. with coffee and a tablet full of bad news. Sir, the emergency board meeting is in 2 hours. Your father-in-law is pushing for an immediate vote to remove you as CEO. He's claiming you're mentally unstable and a liability to the company. He's probably right about the liability part, Deli said without looking away from his mother. Sir, there's also this. Grace showed him the tablet. Someone leaked internal documents showing the embezzlement. They're trying to pin it on you. Now Deli looked up. What? The fake vendor contracts, the missing 200 million, they're saying you stole it. That's why your mother was on the streets. You took the money meant for her. Deli's jaw clenched. Doughton. Biola's brother. He's behind this, isn't he? Grace nodded. I think the blackmail, the embezzlement, the leaked documents, it's all connected. Someone in your wife's family wants you destroyed so they can take over your company. Can you prove it? Not yet. But sir, there's something else. Grace pulled out a small recording device. Yesterday, when I was investigating, I spoke to one of the old security guards who worked at your office 6 years ago. He remembered your mother. And he remembered something important. He kept recordings. She pressed play. A grainy voice came through. Listen, old woman, Mr. Okonkwo doesn't want anything to do with you. You're embarrassing him. If you come back here again, we'll call the police and have you arrested for trespassing. Do you understand? Then another voice, younger, arrogant. And tell anyone about this. We'll make sure you regret it. My brother-in-law is building something important. You're just a reminder of his worthless past. Deli recognized the second voice immediately. Doughton. That bastard. Deli breathed. He didn't just turn her away. He threatened her. There's more, sir. The security guard said Doughton was also the one who convinced Femi to steal the money you sent to your mother. They split it. Femi got greedy and got caught, but Doughton never got exposed. And now he's blackmailing me and trying to steal my company. Deli stood up, fury blazing in his eyes. Grace, I need you to do something for me. Anything, sir. Call every board member. Tell them I'm coming to that meeting. And tell them I have evidence that will change everything. Mama Okonkwo stirred on the bed. Her eyes opened, clearer than before. Deli. He rushed to her side. Mama, I'm here. I heard you talking, she whispered. You're in trouble because of me. No, Mama. I'm in trouble because of my own choices. But I'm going to make it right. She gripped his hand with surprising strength. That family you married into. They're poison, Deli. I tried to warn you years ago, but you wouldn't listen. I know, Mama. I know. He kissed her forehead. But I'm listening now. And I'm going to fight back. A weak smile crossed her face. That's my boy. That's the son I raised. Deli has evidence to expose Doughton. But will the board believe him? Will he lose everything fighting back? And can he save both his mother and his company? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below. Should Deli forgive his wife, or is she part of the problem? The boardroom on the 40th floor was packed. 15 board members sat around the long mahogany table, their faces a mixture of concern, anger, and calculation. At the head sat Senator Badmus, Biola's father, a man who had built his fortune on backroom deals and strategic betrayals. Biola sat beside him, her face perfectly composed, not even glancing at Delhi as he entered. Doughton lounged in the corner, smirking. He thought he'd won. "Ah, Mr. Okonkwo," Senator Badmus said with false warmth. "So good of you to join us. We were just discussing your situation." Delhi took his seat calmly, placing Grace's tablet on the table. "My situation? You mean the fact that someone has been systematically destroying my life while stealing from my company?" "We mean," Senator Badmus replied coldly, "that you've become a PR nightmare. A billionaire whose mother begs on the streets. Investors don't trust a man who can't even take care of his own family. The board has lost confidence in your leadership." Murmurs of agreement around the table. Mr. Ibrahim, the CFO, cleared his throat. "Delhi, we've also uncovered financial irregularities. Money missing from accounts. Fake vendor contracts. It appears you've been embezzling funds." "Is that what you were told?" Delhi looked directly at Doughton. "And who exactly presented this evidence to you?" Doughton straightened, losing his smirk. "I did. As head of investor relations, it's my job to investigate financial misconduct." "How convenient," Delhi said softly. "The thief investigating himself." "Excuse me." Doughton stood up, his face flushing. "Are you accusing me of something?" "I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm stating facts." Delhi nodded to Grace, who stood by the door. "Grace, please play the recording." The room fell silent as the old security guard's recording filled the air. "Listen, old woman, Mr. Okonkwo doesn't want anything to do with you. And tell anyone about this. We'll make sure you regret it. My brother-in-law is building something important. You're just a reminder of his worthless past." Doughton's face went pale. That's taken out of context." "Context?" Delhi's voice was deadly quiet. "You threatened my mother. You turned her away when she was desperate. You worked with my former assistant to steal money meant for her care. And then, when I finally found her, you tried to blackmail me." "You have no proof," Doughton shouted. "Don't I?" Grace placed documents on the table. "These are phone records showing calls between Doughton's number and the blackmail number. Bank transfers showing stolen funds going into offshore accounts linked to him. And emails between Doughton and certain board members discussing how to remove Delhi from the company." Several board members shifted uncomfortably. Senator Badmus's face darkened. "This is ridiculous. My son would never." "Your son," Delhi interrupted, "has been stealing from this company for 6 years. He saw an opportunity when I was vulnerable, and he took it. And you," he looked at each board member, "some of you knew. Some of you helped him because you wanted a piece of my company." Mr. Ibrahim spoke up quietly. "Delhi, even if this is true, the damage to your reputation is real. The investors are pulling out. The stock is plummeting. How can you lead this company now?" "I can't," Delhi said simply. The room gasped. "At least, not the way I've been leading it. I built this company on lies and shame. I abandoned my values, my family, my mother, all for money and status. That man doesn't deserve to lead anything." He stood up, looking at each person around the table. "But I'm not that man anymore. My mother is downstairs in a hospital bed, fighting for her life. She has kidney failure because she's been living on the streets while I slept in a mansion. That's on me. No one else." He paused. "However, the theft, the blackmail, the conspiracy to destroy me, that's on Doughton. And anyone who helped him." Delhi pulled out his phone and made a call. "You can come in now." The boardroom doors opened. 2 EFCC officers in uniform entered, followed by the company's head of legal. "Economic and Financial Crimes Commission," the lead officer announced. "We have a warrant for the arrest of Doughton Badmus for embezzlement, fraud, and extortion." Doughton bolted for the door, but the officers were faster. They grabbed him as he struggled. "This is a setup," he screamed. "You can't do this. My father is a senator." "Your father," the officer said calmly, "is currently being investigated for corruption. Being a senator won't save you from federal crimes." As they dragged Doughton away, Senator Badmus stood up, his face twisted with rage. "You'll regret this, Okonkwo. I'll destroy you. I'll take everything." "You already tried," Delhi said quietly. "And you failed. Now get out of my building. You're no longer welcome here." Biola finally spoke, her voice shaking. "Delhi, please. My brother made mistakes, but your brother tried to destroy my mother. Your family convinced me to abandon her. And you," Delhi looked at his wife with something like pity, "you stood by and let it happen. You knew what kind of people they were, and you didn't warn me. You didn't protect me. You just wanted the lifestyle." "I love you," Biola whispered, tears streaming down her perfect makeup. "No, you don't. You love what I can give you. There's a difference." Delhi turned to the board. "I'm taking a leave of absence. Mr. Ibrahim will serve as interim CEO. When I return, things will be different. This company will have values again, starting with taking care of the people who matter." He walked toward the door, then stopped. "Oh, and Biola? My lawyers will be in touch about the divorce. You can keep the house in Banana Island. I'll be staying somewhere more important." "Where?" she asked bitterly. "With my mother. Where I should have been all along." Delhi returned to the hospital room to find Mama Okonkwo awake, the morning sun streaming through the window. She looked stronger somehow, as if knowing her son had finally fought back had given her strength. "Is it done?" she asked. "It's done, Mama. The bad people are gone." She patted the bed beside her. "Sit, my son. Tell me everything." And for the first time in 12 years, Delhi told his mother the truth. About his mistakes, his shame, his weakness, his regret. He held nothing back. When he finished, Mama Okonkwo was quiet for a long moment. Then she placed her weathered hand on his cheek. "You made terrible choices, Delhi. You hurt me deeply. But you came back. You fought for me. That's what matters now. Can you forgive me, Mama?" "I forgave you the moment I saw you crying on that street," she said softly. "Because that's what mothers do. We love our children even when they break our hearts." Delhi buried his face in her shoulder and wept, not tears of shame anymore, but tears of relief and redemption. Outside the hospital window, Lagos continued its chaotic dance. News vans still waited for statements. Social media still buzzed with opinions. But inside that small hospital room, a broken relationship was slowly being healed. "What happens now?" Mama Okonkwo asked. "Now." Delhi smiled through his tears. "Now I take care of you. We find you the best kidney specialist. We get you strong again. And then..." He paused. "Then I teach you how to use a smartphone so you can call me anytime you want. And I'll actually answer." Mama Okonkwo laughed, a sound Delhi hadn't heard in 12 years. "A smartphone? At my age? At any age, Mama. You're never too old to learn. Or to be loved." He squeezed her hand. "And I'm never too successful to be your son." "My boy," she whispered. "My good boy. You finally came home." The machines beeped steadily. The sun rose higher. And for the first time in over a decade, Delhi Okonkwo felt like he could breathe. The road ahead wouldn't be easy. There would be more surgeries, more dialysis, more struggles. His reputation was damaged. His marriage was over. His company was in crisis. But he had something more valuable than all of it. He had his mother back. And that, Delhi realized, was worth more than all the money in the world. The end. This story reminds us that no success means anything if we forget the people who sacrificed for us. Money can buy comfort, but it can't buy back lost time or heal a broken relationship. What matters most is love, family, and the courage to make things right, even when it costs us everything. Did this story touch your heart? Like this video, subscribe to Stories by Stoner for more powerful African stories, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment telling us, what's the most important lesson you learned from Delhi's journey? We'll see you in the next story. Stay blessed. Folded hands, red heart.